Hi, welcome back to the Roundtable. I'm your host, Stephen. Today I'll be talking about the first episode in the third and final season of Star Trek Picard. Watched it last night and was pleasantly surprised in how much I enjoyed this episode. After the first two seasons of Picard, I found never really found their footing, and I wasn't really sure where they were going with it. Although it was nice to see Patrick Stewart to reprise this role, I found the first two seasons kind of hit and miss. This episode did well for me. I enjoyed it. I had that old feeling of watching Star Trek again. I felt like a little kid watching Star Trek for the first time, and I thought they did a real good job. The story is basically there's two stories in this film. In this episode, basically you have um, Beverly Crusher, who gets hurt on a mission on her ship, the Elios, and sends out a distress signal to Picard. Um, he in turn brings out Riker, and they go on basically on a road trip to go rescue her. And they try to use Riker's old ship, the Titan, who's been refitted. They're going under the ruse of it's going to be an inspection, and ask the ship to make a detour to the area where Beverly is, where they believe Beverly is. That doesn't go their way, but lucky for them, 709 kind of helps them out. She's aboard the ship as the number one of that ship and gets them to the location. The second part of the series deals with Raffi, who believes there's some sort of secret weapon that has been removed from the Daystrom Institute, and the only thing she has as a clue is called the Red Lady. So there's these two little stories to go on, which I thought was interesting. I liked it. I didn't find the editing was a little off when they went back and forth to the both of them. I think they should have been maybe separate episodes, but that's my minor quibble. What I liked about this, Riker and Picard's chemistry between these two, they're no longer just the first officer and the commander. They're old friends, and they're on a road trip and this adventure to get to find Beverly and see, they want to rescue Beverly, right? Their former chief medical officer is in danger, and they're out to save her. Classical Star Trek. There's an adventure to be made, right? A lot of Easter eggs. What I enjoyed I thought I would not like that idea, but there's a lot of throwbacks, not only to the next generation. There's the flute from Inner Light in there. There's Beverly Crusher's husband's name on a briefcase. There's a whole bunch of things there's a whole bunch of little references from her episodes on the next generation. The Daystrom Institute is from the original series, but a lot of it also deals with referencing the original movies with William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy. The scene where Riker and Picard are taking the shuttle to the Titan is very reminiscent to me of Kirk being on the shuttle going to the Enterprise for the first time in years in the motion picture. The opening of Picard, it says in the 25th century, is very much like the opening of The Wrath of Khan. Also, when Picard and Riker get onto the Elios, they meet up with Beverly's son, and the fight kind of reminiscent of Kirk's fight with David in Wrath of Khan. A lot of similarities in there. There's also a space dock sequence, which is very reminiscent of the space dock departure in Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock. So, as much as they reference a lot of, I'm not going to mention them all, I don't want to ruin it for you. There's a lot of Easter eggs in the next generation, but there's also a lot, like I said, of the feature films, which I didn't think would work, but it worked for me. Like how they used those, I thought that was a nice little touch to those things. Overall, great episode. Like I said, the Easter eggs I thought would have hurt the episode. It just made me smile. I was very happy with them, and it seems like a very loving tribute to both aspects, the next generation and the feature films, and I thought that was great. Again, the dynamic with Riker and Picard is fantastic. Love that a lot. Um, for the first episode, it doesn't give a lot away, but it's a good old fashioned Star Trek adventure, and I thoroughly enjoyed this. I think it's one of the best Star Trek things I've seen in a long time. And maybe it is the nostalgia playing on my emotions, but it worked for me, and I was thoroughly, thoroughly entertained. I enjoyed the dynamic. The only thing I didn't get is that Beverly Crusher was so animate about them not using or working with Starfleet that Riker and Picard use a Starfleet ship to get there. They could have used, paid some sort of bounty hunter or some sort of other person to get a ship and fly out there on their own. So I didn't get why they did that. You know, I guess it was just to show them doing a ruse and, commandeering a ship or trying to, and I guess meet Seven and Nine again. So, but I mean, the thing is, she was very adamant of not using Starfleet, and they tried to use a Starfleet vessel. Oh, they did use a Starfleet vessel to get there. So, kind of weird on that one. That's the only thing that kind of bothered me on that. But minor, minor quibble. Overall, the feel was that of the Next Generation and the original series, and it was a great little adventure, and I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to it. This is really, like I said, episode season 1 and 2 of Picard really were questionable for me and hit and miss. This is a great start. Hoping they keep it up, and this could be the adventure that we hoped for after Star Trek Nemesis, I guess, then live up to our potential. Hopefully, this will be the last adventure and it will live up to the hype or our expectations. But we'll have to wait and see. This is only the first episode. A lot can go wrong very quickly. We've seen that in the other episodes of Picard, how it can take a left turn and leave you kind of disappointed. So, but all in all, for a first episode, it got my curiosity and the nostalgia worked. And I was very, very entertained. And that's all I can tell you. Look for the Easter eggs. Let me know what you find. I found a whole bunch. I'm not going to mention them here, but if you want to mention them, do so. Which ones did you like? I like the ones that mention actually the Star Trek motion pictures, that franchise. It's interesting that they used some of those into the Next Generation. But that's me. But you let me know what you think. But hit the like button, subscribe. Write to us, let me know what you thought of this episode. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Let me know. I'd love to hear from you. This is Steven from the Aroundtable telling you to live long and prosper.